Hey everybody, Merry Christmas. Look, today I don't have any big lists for you, no rankings, no recommendations. I don't even have any big deep dives into the nostalgia that we all love so much. But what I do want to do today is share with you my Christmas memories and the Christmas memories that connect us while we enjoy watching some of those memories and some clips from our favorite Christmas movies of all time. I'm going to take you back to the Christmas of our memories and share with you a little bit of the Christmases that I've loved so much. You know, the funny thing is, when I think about Christmas, the first thing I think about is the early 80s with my brother and me trying to stay awake all night long, waiting on Santa Claus. And I'm sure a lot of you have that same kind of memory. My brother is about 4 years older than me. And when my mom and dad were married, we didn't have a lot of money, but we had the biggest Christmases, okay? If we wanted things during the year, we probably didn't get them, but we had to. The answer was always wait till Christmas. Well, maybe you'll get it for Christmas, or you have to ask Santa Claus for that at Christmas. And Christmas was so big. My dad worked so hard. My mom worked hard, and it was special. It has always meant so much to me, not just from the present standpoint, but you know what Christmas means. My great-grandfather, who I grew up with, like most people grew up with their grandparents, my family got started early. You know, he was only in his late 60s when I was born, and or mid 60s. He was a preacher, and he was a farmer, and he had a farm. And all of that, and a big family. I had great aunts and two great uncles, and they both had, or all had, a bunch of kids. And so we grew up with a huge family. And every Christmas Eve, our tradition was my brother and I and my mom and dad would go to my dad's parents' house. And he also had three sisters who had a lot of kids. So as you might imagine, we had uncles and aunts and cousins everywhere. And we would start out Christmas Eve at my grandparents' house, my dad's parents, and we would do like a secret Santa. And because there's no way you could afford to buy everybody a present. And we would just enjoy. Everybody would bring food and we would hang out. There would just be cars everywhere and the house couldn't hold everyone. And that was big. It seemed very big. And then we would leave. And, you know, we would go to my great-grandparents' house, their farm, where we lived that part of the time and where I spent huge portions, most of my summers that I can remember. And we would get there, and it would go even to a next level, because you have my great-grandparents, my nanny and pawpaw, as we called them, and my grandmother, who I called Granny. That was my mom's mom. She lived there too. And she had 4 kids. My mom has a sister and 2 brothers. And everybody had kids. And then my great uncle, my great uncles and my great aunt, they all had multiple children. And so there were cousins everywhere. One of my cousins, who's my second cousin, grew up closer to him than even my mom in age, really. And he actually married me and Risha. You know, that's how close we all were. Even though we don't see each other all the time now, those connections still remain. And I think that's probably the same for a lot of you if you just really look for those connections. But we would go there on Christmas, and it would just be cars everywhere covering this yard in this farm in Carl, Georgia. And this old white farmhouse with, you know, a living room and a den and the old farm kitchen. And just on, tons of acres and huge, fields and barns and outbuildings, and cars would just be as far as the eye could see. And we would exchange presents in there the same way. My Uncle Jewel would usually hand those out with my pawpaw. And, actually, when I got older, I got the honor of doing that in one of the last few Christmases, because unfortunately, like a lot of you out there, when the family matriarch and patriarch pass on, those traditions kind of flutter away, kind of like when you blow, the down of a thistle, as it would say. And but for the years that mattered, those 80s, back in the 80s and into the 90s, and on into the 2000s, we had that. And I wouldn't trade that for anything, because you go over here and there's food, and you'd be part of this conversation over here, and then you could wander outside and there were people outside having conversations, and there was Christmas lights and everything everywhere, and the cold in the air, and the trays full of pecans and walnuts, because they had those trees outside and we would bring them in by the shirtful. And the wood that I, even at 6 years old, helped my great-grandfather chop and stack on the back porch was out there. And you'd had to feed the stove and the fire, because it was an old wood-burning stove in the farmhouse. And, not tons of money, but tons of love and laughter. And what we did get was so much fun. And by the time we would leave this on Christmas Eve night, my brother and I, we had that double dose. This started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon usually, and we didn't get home until around midnight or later. So we would be asleep in the car on the way home, and then we would get home and we'd be all trying to stay awake and wait on Santa Claus. And one of the big Christmases that I remember, I guess, it had to be Christmas of 1985 or something, like 84, 85. And it was one of the last Christmases that my mom and dad were married. And my brother and I, we lived at this house on Lake Lucerne Road in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And it was a bit of a farmhouse kind of itself on lots of land. And wow, was that a big Christmas, because we got the Castle Grayskull He-Man, and we got He-Man action figures. We got X-Wing fighters from Star Wars. We got Star Wars figures. We got G.I. Joe figures. We got the big, it's like a 3-story, like, rolling armor tank. I forget what it's called, but it's up in my attic right now for G.I. Joes, and they were just stacked on one another. And we got some more Atari games. And the big thing was, and my dad saw fit to this, was we had a go-kart. And my brother and I remember at 5 years old, I was driving a go-kart. You wouldn't let kids today touch this. And, we used to jump it. And then my uncle who's about 8.5, 9 years old, my mom's brother, he would tie my Knight Rider big wheel to the back of the go-kart, and I would ride it, and we would set up things for me to jump and stuff like that. So the fact that I'm still here in one piece is pretty funny. But these are memories that last forever. And when I'm old, and I'm sure all of you, and that's why I'm telling you this, when you're old, you're going to have memories like that. And it's memories like that, a similar experience, a shared experience, that connect us in a way that people aren't connected anymore. But it's still out there to be had. It's just we don't have a singularity of focus, a singularity of pop culture. Everybody has so many different things, millions of different things, algorithms and different shows and different this and different that. Back then it wasn't that way. We were all kind of consolidated. We all dreamed about the same things for Christmas. We all kind of wanted the same things. And that kind of united us. So it's very easy for us to make those connections. And I think we can get that back again if we try. And I think it's very important because those are things that are really going to last. Not whatever TikTok reel you just scrolled, not whatever the latest trend is. And family is not cringe, and sincerity is not cringe, and the true meaning of Christmas is not cringe. These are the things that matter. These are the things that last. These are the things that form the basis of all the stuff we love so much, whether it's just pop culture and toys and TV shows or movies like over here behind me on physical media. The reason we care about that stuff so much is not just because it's art and not just because we want to protect it from changing sensibilities that might alter these things. Those things are important to us to protect because of the memories, because of everything they meant to us growing up, all of these things. And Christmas kind of wraps all of that together. And our traditions have changed over the years. Now on Christmas Eve, we go to my mom's, and she only lives about a mile away. The family's not as big anymore. It's more dispersed, just like everything else, unfortunately. But we in this family try to hold our traditions together, and we get together and we eat, and we do white elephant gifts now. And about, I guess 7 years ago, we started going to Disney World every year at Christmas time and doing Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and having fun down there and taking pictures and all that kind of stuff and enjoying it. And back before that, when my kids were born, we still did big Christmas mornings. All right, Christmas is overboard crazy, and listening to Christmas music just like we did back in the car. Back then when we had no money, we'd get in the car and ride around and look for Christmas lights and listen to Christmas music, and of course the appointment television of the Rankin Bass specials like Rudolph, and watching Christmas Vacation over and over again, and It's a Wonderful Life, and Home Alone, and the Santa Claus. I think about my dad, who's not with us anymore. He took me to see the Santa Claus when I was like 15 when it came out, just he and I. I can tell you what we had for snacks, right down to the Butterfinger pieces that we had. And that's the power of Christmas. That's the power of all of this. And when you think back to those Christmas mornings, you run down, and get on the carpet under the tree, and you unwrap that G.I. Joe, or you unwrap your Cabbage Patch Kid, or you're, in the mid 80s, the big thing my dad got, my brother and I, was we got our own TV and a Nintendo Entertainment System, an NES, and with that Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers combo pack. And I thought I was king of the world. And, that's the kind of feelings you want to pass on. Those are the kind of memories you want to pass on. You need to be present. You can recreate all of that stuff. It doesn't mean it has to be the exact same, but the feeling behind it, the intention behind it should be the same. And you'll get out what you put into it. And it is so important now more than ever. The more we're fragmented by algorithms and streaming and everything, and by social agendas that are constantly changing and everything else, family and togetherness and traditions and nostalgia and faith and all of those things are more important than ever. You can't control the outside world, but you can control what happens in your little corner of the world. And if everybody would do that and kind of embrace all of those things, more and more people would do it. It would spread all over again, and we would kind of turn things back the right way. On this channel, I realized that it was funny. Just in 3 weeks of Christmas content, I had a lot of people lash out angrily that I was focused so much on Christmas just for 3 weeks, but nobody for 60 days of me doing horror and Halloween content had a problem. And in fact, people wanted me to continue to do more of it almost every day. And I think that's not a good thing. I love Halloween. I make horror movies for a living and all that kind of stuff. But there's something almost sad, almost unsettling about lashing out against a time of year that's supposed to unite us, that's supposed to be filled with joy and happiness and remembrance of the reason for the season and sharing cheer and goodwill towards each other. The fact that that was lashed out at is somewhat unsettling. But as I say here all the time, there's good news, and it can go the other way, because when I shared that experience on my community tab, I had over 700 likes and comments saying that they love the Christmas content, that they love the nostalgia, that videos that I had done unlocked memories that they had lost, that brought tears to their eyes, that made them feel that good feeling, that wholeness inside again. And y'all, that's why I do this. Because all this stuff is the physical media itself, all these things that we worry about, they're just dust. You know, eventually they will go one way or the other. But the feelings that they invoke, the goodness, the shared culture, the things that they create that unite us, those things last forever. And that's what Christmas is all about. Now, today, my birthday is next month, and I am on the backside of my 40s, and my kids are teenagers. My son just turned 15, my daughter's 13 and a half. But our Christmas traditions haven't changed. We'll have a big Christmas on Christmas morning, and we will listen to Christmas music, and It's a Wonderful Life and Christmas Vacation will be on in the background while that's all happening, and I'll record it. And as you see some of this stuff, there's no telling, all of those movies mean a lot to us. The trips to Disney World mean a lot to us. All the memories of the family gatherings mean the world to us, and we're just going to continue to make more and more of those memories. And when you can think about those things and see them visually and have them brought back, and know that each one of us on Christmas morning is doing those same things, we're sharing those same things, suddenly we don't feel so disconnected anymore. We don't feel divided by social agendas or political parties or anything that's problematic versus not problematic and all that. Suddenly those things don't seem to matter anymore. We're all doing the same things again in the same place on our Christmas mornings, and there is something so uniting in that. There's something that connects us all. And if we could focus on those things, the things that unite us and connect us, instead of the things that divide us and separate us all the time, we would heal. And that's what Christmas is all about. The chance to come together, something bigger than ourselves that connects us. That's what it's all about. That's what Christmas morning in the 70s, 60s, 50s, 80s, 90s, and today is ultimately all about. And that's the message that I want to share with you this Christmas. And I hope that it finds you well and having an amazing Christmas morning. And from my family to yours, Merry Christmas and have a happy and safe New Year. I'll be back here tomorrow on the 26th. I guess that you'll see this on Christmas Eve. So I'll be right back on the 26th, and we have a lot of big things in store. But for today, take a breath. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, let it wash over you. Let the nostalgia and the memories heal your heart and enjoy all these things together. And that's my Christmas wish for all of you. And I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have an amazing Christmas. God bless, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.